Like, what happens when we go out to bar?
I have a good bar till this time. I'm not boring this time. So I threw a drink at somebody because they were disrespecting me. Basically,
It was water.
It was water.
So no
I didn't
alcohol
pay
was
for
wasted.
it. Obviously, you can't waste alcohol, especially if you bought it. So I did what any normal person would do when someone disrespects them at a bar. I threw a drink at them because basically I was trying to ask this guy a question, and I was like tapping on his shoulder. I was like trying to get his name, trying to talk to him. He was literally like probably like this far away from me, not even lying. And he literally ignored me. And then when one of my friends asked him why he was ignoring me, he said I was talking gibberish. Actually, I talk pretty good English, so I don't really know what you're talking about. But I mean, things escalated. I obviously was kind of like overexcited because of the stimulus, the multiple stimuli in the area, being alcohol and also just like environment.
It's intense.
So, I mean, I threw a drink at him because I really just wanted to do that. And then he comes across the street and he's talking to his friends about me. And I just got extra pissed because I was like, why are you still not talking to me? If you have something to say it with your chest. Just tell me, because I don't care. Like, I don't really care about him. I don't care about the aspect that he was talking to my friend or whatever. I don't think he's attractive or anything like that. I just thought it was disrespectful that he never took the time to address me. I don't like that. I'm not an invisible person, nor will I ever be. I'm here, I'm loud, and I'm going to be here. So you should address me with respect to who I am and where I am in this area. Never in a point in time are you going to dismiss me. If anything, I'm going to dismiss you, but it's not going to be the other way around, honey.
But bring up what you told me about his friend who spoke to you about,
I mean,
I'll let you say this about what he put on, what he basically said. You know,
the day after,
blaming.
one of his friends was like, "Oh, how are you doing? Like, shit got real last night." And I was like, "I'm fine. I just like I don't like being disrespected, and I know that he knows that now." And he's like, "Well, you should just be careful because some people, like some guys, aren't afraid to like put their hands on a woman, especially when alcohol is involved." And I was like, I don't really have time for this misogynistic agenda right now.
And it's messed up because there is some truth to that. Like, it's true, some guys will, but that's not what you say to somebody in this situation.
Absolutely.
There's no point in saying that to someone in a situation. It's almost like victim blaming.
Absolutely. Like,
You know, that's like saying, like, you know, if you hang out with a guy and you guys are alone, like, if you get raped, like, oh, well, that's what happens when you hang out with guys alone. Some guys are just like that. And it shouldn't be that way.
yeah. Like, I mean, I kind of disregarded that because, I mean, yes, there is a ramification where I could have gotten hurt in that situation because I did throw a drink. I also did hit his hat off of his head because I was very angry. But there's going to be like a high percentage of that happening if I fight anyone. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman or a cat or a fish. It matters the fact that I'm asserting myself, maybe in an unnecessarily violent way, and I get that. I get that there's a ramification that I will get hurt, but it shouldn't matter that it's a man or a woman. Like me throwing hands means that I accept that. You know what I mean? And I will accept that no matter what. I'm gonna fight for myself. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, he hit me, guys. Because
We're not that type of woman.
I'm not that type of woman because I understand that people should be treated equally because I am a feminist. Now, I mean, like, I still told him, I was like, well, I don't really care to have this conversation, to be honest. I said all that I had to say yesterday.
And that's how you handle it.
And I mean, like, have you ever been in a fight where people are like, oh, like, you shouldn't do that because a man could do this? Like, has that ever happened to you?
Not necessarily with fights, but sometimes, you know, when I go out and stuff, you know, especially if I'm going to a place like the city, my mom will be like, oh, you know, you're gonna get the wrong type of attention, dressed like that. And, like, you know, as, like, a woman, to be told that by a woman, like, that breaks my heart. Because it's like you're giving in to the stigma that women are responsible for their own safety.
Absolutely.
And it's not.
If you're a man,
like
you should respect a woman regardless of what she's wearing, regardless of how she looks, regardless of how she sounds.
There's no outfit there's no outfit that allows someone to rape you or to violate you.
Absolutely. Like
there's nothing. It makes no sense at all.
And it is disrespectful because my parents do the same thing. My parents will be like, "Oh, like who are you dressing for? Like where are you going? Why are you dressed like that?" Or like they'll be like, "Oh, like why are you out at night? If you get pregnant, like that's not my fault. That's on you."
Yikes.
And I'm like, okay, like I just went to go get coffee. Like,
and I think my mom, at the same point, like I can't blame her because I feel like for her to say that to me means that she must have had some experience where she was targeted for something she was, and I don't know that, but I can only assume.
But I feel like also it can just be an upbringing. Do you know what I mean? Because like probably her parents were, or like somebody in her life who was like an authority figure was saying the same thing to her, and she was like, well, this is what I have to be responsible for. I feel like a lot of the stress in women's lives comes from the fact that they have to be responsible for not only the way that they're perceived, but also the way that they're respected. And men don't have to deal with that. Men are just respected automatically. They're heard automatically. They don't have to shout. They don't have to yell. They do shout and they do yell when they're not heard because they're so used to being heard. You know what I mean? And it's hard to be a woman in 2015 where you have to assert yourself and then you're looked at as a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, like you're saying before, like when you asserted yourself with that guy in that fight, like the stereotype, like you like coming off as like an angry black woman, like you have every right to be angry, and you're black.
Yeah,
I
just so happen to be black, and I am upset. Is that to say that I can never be an upset woman because I'm looked at as fanatical and hysterical? That's not fair because I don't want to say not fair, but like you're taking away my agency as a person. I feel like a lot of the time women are not looked at as people; they're looked at as objects. They're looked at as ornaments that are supposed to like glitter a room, much like people of color, how they're set dressings for for white people,
almost like conversation pieces.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not here to be a conversation piece. I'm here to be a person. I'm always a person. I'm gonna wake up a person. I'm gonna go to sleep a person, and I don't know what the afterlives hold for me, but I know I'm still gonna be a person somehow because I have a soul in this body and I have a brain in this head, and that makes you no different from me.
All right, that is all the time we have for this week. Everybody have a happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving.
Yeah, make sure that you don't drink and drive or anything crazy like that.
Please, no drinking and driving this week. Don't do this to your family. Of all the weeks to do it, this is not the week.
Yeah, we're all giving thanks, and we all want you guys to be safe. We love you so much from the Femme Spot. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.